want, we give what the people want, and we're super excited about today. Tilly is super excited about today, but once we acknowledge her, she gets scared.
She was very into teaching this morning, so she likes to lay on my yoga mats.
Tilly will be joining us as well today. So today we are focused on yoga for Muay Thai. We're really excited about it because a lot of people were really excited about it. If you did the whole 5-day challenge, awesome job. I mean, I really felt good about finishing all 5 days, showing up with you guys, and the fact that the response has been so great and everything too. People feel like they're building momentum back into their training. They're adding different drills and layers to their game, fine-tuning their technique. It really means a lot. And so the body, we went through a lot this week, right? We did some conditioning, we did some boxing, we did some kicking, we did a little bit of everything. So now, one of the questions that I often get, or a lot of the same but different questions I often get, usually have to do with like hip mobility, high kicks, and being able to be more flexible and mobile when you're doing your Muay Thai. And my answer all the time is yoga. If you can do yoga as a part of your training, whether it's like 10 minutes a day or 1 hour a week or whatever it may be, that consistency over the long term is really going to help you loosen up your hips, become more flexible, become more athletic. But the benefits of yoga don't stop there, because I don't know if it's the same idea with other yoga practitioners. I would imagine so, but like the breath work and the mental awareness that I'm able to take from yoga and move to a fight or move to training is a game changer. On top of that, the balance, the control, the core work and everything, the focus is a really important thing. So anyway, that's what we got going on today. So we're going to jump into yoga. Liz is going to be leading the class, and then I will be demonstrating most of the poses, because as you can see, she's pregnant. My child.
Very pregnant.
Very
so
pregnant.
I'm going to do what I can.
8 months pregnant, and so we're expecting a little Muay Thai warrior to be coming out there sometime soon.
I've been going strong, but the 8th month has caught up to me.
So she's going to ease into it. She's going to be teaching me. You'll kind of see how the stretches work on my body, which might be good for you, because I'm not the most flexible person. I'm flexible enough to kick people in the head and shit, but I can't do splits and everything. All right, so hopefully you enjoy this. Let me know where you guys are watching from, by the way. Let's check out the comments. See what's going on. We got Alexander. We got Deb here. We got Tara. Good morning, Andrew. Good to see you all. You guys ready for some fucking yoga? Let's do it.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so Liz.
All right. So hey guys, what's up? Just want to say a few things. Like Sean says, he's not the most flexible, and honestly, as a yoga practitioner, it's like the least important part of this. So I think it's most important. What happens is Sean's very intentional when he's in his movement. So I want to offer that to you guys. Doesn't have to be so many intentions in this practice besides just feeling good. So I want you to be in your breath. I want you to imagine that breath, that prana, which is our vital life energy, is being sent to almost every single cell in your body. Okay, so how do we do this? So when you're in the posture, I know that it can be confusing to try to listen and do new motions that you're not used to all at once. But I want to invite you to really kind of just trust yourself, trust your being as we move through this practice. Just that you know what you're doing, okay? And if at all you feel confused, just follow what feels good, okay? So that is my invitation to you. Follow what feels good. Do your best to follow instructions, but let's get a good stretch. Let's feel really good, and let's add some more prana to our life, okay?
Do it.
So we're going to go ahead and hop right into it. We're going to start with a downward facing dog. So just make your way right into downward facing dog. Getting set up here. So this is a pretty energetic pose. I'm going to talk you through it a little bit. Sean's going to kind of open up his fingers, pressing the full palms into the mat. It's going to straighten out through the arms, reaching that energy. So he's almost pushing the mat away from him, reaching all the way up into that tailbone, okay? And you're still finding your position here, so feel free to maybe pedal out your heels, bending each knee. I want you to go ahead, let the head be nice and heavy, relax the shoulders away from the ears here, and really start breathing nice and deep, filling up those lungs. All right. Sending the breath to anything that feels tight. Maybe you add a little rock in the hips here. But your main focus is to start lengthening that breath. Let the inhale be so long that you could almost inhale all the way from your nose, all the way down to your heels. Send that breath to the body. Maybe you nod the head from side to side. And maybe you start to find some stillness here. Just seeing what feels good. Pressing that mat away from you if you needed a little bit more on the shoulders. You can even bend the knees slightly if you want to get into the back. Yes, see how Sean's tailbone is reaching high and his spine is nice and straight now. Really beautiful. Just a couple more breaths here. Try to find your balance of weight in the hands and the feet. Okay, so you don't want to be too heavy on the hands. We're going to burn out shoulders. And you don't want to be too heavy on the feet, right? Because then we're not going to really get too much of the stretch. So try to find that happy medium. Big breaths here. Good. From here, I want you to go ahead and walk the hands halfway back. Just halfway. Now we're going to feel it in our hamstrings. Take a nice big breath. Look up towards the sky. And then exhale, go ahead and roll that chin towards the chest, coming into like a cat-cow motion here. Just kind of waking up the spine. Inhale, expand. Exhale, contract, empty that belly all the way out. One more like that. And exhale. Good. Now try to let that top half of the body be really heavy. And start feeling it in your hamstrings, coming up on the fingertips, tips. And just feeling nice long hamstrings. Let the head be heavy. Just inhaling, sending that breath to make space, and exhaling, just letting go of all that tension. Good. From here, start shifting the weight back into the hands a little bit. We're going to step those feet nice and wide, so they're going to be a lot wider than your mat. Making sure that the full foot is on the floor. You can even reach the toes in towards one another here. And we're just going to bend maybe the right knee very slightly, and then the left knee. And just adding subtle movements here. Maybe each time you bend the right and the left, you go a little deeper. And just using the rhythm of your breath, going at your own pace. Try to let that head be heavy. Let the top half of the body relax. Good. And then come back to center. Come up on those hands. Left hand comes towards the midline of the body. Inhale, right arm reaches high. Big breaths here. Try not to tip in any of the hip, either side of the hip. Keep those hips nice and square. Just try to work the shoulders here. Nice big breath here. Exhale, hand comes down, and let yourself hang heavy. Grab opposite elbows. Feeling that tension melts from the body. Coming halfway up, right hand comes towards the midline of the body. Inhale, left arm reaches high. Again, try not to let the weight, see my left hip likes to kind of poke up, and I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of square the hips back down and just let my shoulders reach high. Maybe the gaze comes up towards those fingertips. Breathing here. I hear Sean's got his Ujjayi breath going, building warmth in the body. He's really tuned into the breath. And then exhale, bring it down, grab opposite elbows, let yourself hang. Just nod the head yes, and nod the head no. Good. Inhale, come halfway up here. And you're gonna heel toe those feet in towards the mat. Coming about hip distance apart, we're gonna make our way into a squat pose. So a few things here. You wanna try to have your full foot on the mat. If it looks like this, there's a couple things you can do. You can roll your mat up so that it helps with the feet. There we go. And just kind of place that underneath the heels. And this will help you get into the full posture. We're just using what we have to prop us up. We're gonna bring the elbows inside the knees, hands to heart center. Try to sit nice and tall here. Want to think about the wrist coming in line with the elbow, and that's going to open up these hips even more. Sit nice and tall. Nice full breath. Smile. Can you rock side to side? Good job. And here we're going to just reach that left hand down. Right hand's going to reach up, and you're just going to do small shoulder circles. Like you're drawing little circles with your fingertips in the sky.
Your hips are yelling at you. It means you're doing it right. My hips are screaming.
Good. Come back to center. Try to adjust your feet. Really stay strong in this pose. If you need to take a break like Sean is, do so. And then right hand comes down, left arm reaches high, small circles. Good. Opposite direction. And then bring that hand down. Let's go ahead and walk it back out, downward facing dog. Give yourself a breath and a stretch here. And we're going to bring the knees down, coming into a tabletop position. So hands underneath, shoulders underneath, wrists underneath the shoulders and knees underneath the hips. We're going to go ahead and start with some cat-cows, but we're going to make it a little bit different. So we're going to just start and focus on the pelvic floor. So I want you to keep the shoulders nice and straight, and you're just going to kind of reach that booty up, and then exhale, roll it all in. So just the lower half of your body is working. Try to keep the shoulders nice and square. Inhale, really tuck that pelvic floor, and exhale, roll it under. Do this a few more times.
Like you're squeezing your abs.
Yes. Emptying all that air out. Just feeling that lower half of the body work, right? We're just like trying to segment the movements. Good. I like to roll the shoulders so the armpits kind of tuck into one another and my elbow points are facing forward. And we're going to go ahead and work the shoulders here. So inhaling, you can lift that chin. Exhale, push the mat away from you. Roll the shoulders apart so they really spread apart on that back. Inhale. Try to just drop that chest as far as it will go. Peek that chin up towards the sky. Tip of the breath here, and then exhale. See how far you can go. Just moving with the rhythm of your breath here. Doing a few more rounds, trying your best to stay segmented. So see what it feels like to just work with the shoulders. I really find, building this intention when you're moving and you're breathing is really going to help your Muay Thai practice all around. Just getting really into separation. Looks like Sean's wrists are maybe bothering him, so come back to center here. And we're going to go ahead and do a little wrist stretch. So flip the fingertips so they're facing the knees. And then just rocking circles here. I like to try to get that palm all the way down. And don't worry if your movements look different, right? Yoga is my jam, so it's going to look different on my body than it is on your body. And it doesn't matter how it looks, it matters how it feels. So how does it feel? How does it feel, Sean? Does it feel horrible?
It feels a good type of pain.
Right? It's discomfort, right? And we have to really be able to decipher between discomfort and pain, because a lot of times we act as though it's pain, and a lot of the times it's really discomfort where we can tap into that breath and keep moving, keep going. It's really about checking in, finding your edge, and moving past that edge, right? That's how we grow. So go ahead, flip the palms back forward, and then we're going to go one at a time. Flip onto the back of the hand here. Try to straighten through that elbow. And again, just moving little circles here.
I don't know about you who's watching this, but after punching the bag pretty hard for the first time in a long time, my wrists are definitely feeling it. It's another reason why you should wrap your hands.
Switch sides.
I did not wrap my hands most of this, so not the best role model.
Good. So showing on Sean's body, I'm going to ask him to straighten his arm and try to get that thumb down onto the mat. So really flatten through that hand to get the most out of this.
I'm too old to not wrap my hands. I feel everything more.
Good. You can bring that hand back. Hopefully those wrists are feeling a little bit better. Feel free to put the hands in any way. Sometimes I like to have the fingertips facing the outside of the mat. Sometimes I move like this in yoga, and really I just want to empower you to do what feels good in your body. Don't feel like this is such a strict practice. And, add movements like Sean's doing some circles.
So, axe murderer. Wanderlei Silva. You know Wanderlei Silva?
I don't.
Former pride fighter, and before he fights, he would always do this, right, and looking at his opponent across the ring.
That's a terrifying thing.
The axe murderer? That's who he was.
My nickname isn't that tough.
You've definitely seen him fight.
All right. So we're gonna move on to the glutes here, guys. So just I forgot to say that we're doing like a full body workout today. In my course, Yoga for Muay Thai, I really break down. I go through foundations, I go through shoulders, I go through hips, and then I work balance. So I really break down each of those core elements of Muay Thai in using yoga. But most of the time when I teach live, I want you guys to get a full body stretch. So that's what we're working with today. So we're going to go ahead and reach that right foot up towards the sky and just do some booty pumps here. So press up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold this activation here. Go ahead and look over the left shoulder. Peek back at it. Get a little twist here. Big breath. Exhale, extend that right leg out to the side, nice and wide. Foot comes down on the mat, and we're just gonna rock back and forth. I know you guys probably need this today. Might start feeling a little cramping. If you feel a little cramping, just come off a little bit. We're gonna add some movement. We're gonna get out of this, so.
Feels good.
Good. Okay, come back to center. From here, we're gonna go ahead and lift that right leg and just swing it around to come across and over the left. And then gaze at that foot. And then exhale, gonna reach it out. Maybe sit the hips back. And we're just gonna move like that about 5 times. Inhaling, up and around, looking. Exhaling. Let's see what the comments are as Sean does that. Oh, oh snap, I thought that was Amanda Nunes for a second.
She gets that so much.
I do.
Amanda
She's
Nunes,
a badass bitch, so
and,
I'm glad for that.
And Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah. That should be my bio. Amanda Nunes and Michelle Rodriguez had a baby.
And they're both lesbians.
And they're both lesbians.
So they could have a baby.
Well, you know, Sean, people try to tell me something. All right, do this one more time. Get a nice gaze over at that foot, really breathe here. And then exhale, bring that knee underneath you. And then we'll go ahead and go to the other side. So left leg is gonna lift. And we're gonna press up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it here, and then peek over right shoulder. Breath here, and exhale. Go ahead and extend that left leg long and out to the side. Left foot comes down. We're gonna try to have one nice long line from the hip all the way down to the heel, and then just rock back and forth. Using that breath to create the space. Noticing if one side feels different. Right? A lot of times our sides are uneven, so that's a good time to just pay attention to that. Like, oh, my right side, I might need to hold a little bit longer to build some more evenness, or vice versa. Good. And then from here, we're gonna go ahead and lift that left leg up and around, take a peek over the right shoulder, and then move like this, 5 breaths. Nice big breaths here. I love to make these just super simple for you guys, but so effective. And I know a lot of times it's like I get a mix. Sometimes I really get a lot of people who love the slower, part of the practice, and then I get a lot of Muay Thai people who, they want vinyasa. I think they don't want to do restorative. They want more fast pace and balancing and challenging. And as a teacher, I love to teach like that, but I also know that restorative on these hard days after like a lot of hard training is just so important as an active recovery day.
And being able to slow down mentally, be more calm in the chaos, being comfortable in discomfort. A lot of Muay Thai people can't sit down in silence. Nobody forced to kind of sit themselves in discomfort. And I think that's a really important attribute to kind of continue to nurture as you progress in Muay Thai training, because that stillness, yin yang, baby.
Yeah. And I feel in practice when you're, if you ever decide to take a fight or if you're in combat, that's like your nervous system is going to be worked up in those moments. And that's when our fight or flight is really going to, it's going to take over. So in those moments, can you either, if you're always reacting in a fight, you're going to burn out. You're going to not have your breath. You're going to be exhausted. And then you're most likely going to lose. But if you can take a breath and be able to take a moment where you're like, okay, you start to see things, you start to pick up on little, of your little things that your opponent is doing. You're building more resiliency, you're building more patience, and you're gonna be able to last longer in that fight, in that battle.
Yeah, the breath work, the mental awareness. I didn't train yoga alongside my training. Like I worked out a lot worse in my career because I wanted to be as aware of my thoughts, aware of my flaws, my good and bad. So slowing down.
Yes, it helps us be proactive and not just reactive, right? So, okay.
Okay. I will talk louder. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate that.
All right, back to hands and knees. Sorry for a little chat, but I think it's just important things to talk about. So go ahead, reach that right leg back, and then exhale, you're gonna reach it forward, Sean. You're gonna step that right foot through, and we're just gonna come into a low lunge, so you can scoot that left knee back if you need some space. And we're just gonna try to sink the hips so you can rock back and forth here, so you get some space. Finding that sweet spot. If you need to hold it, do so. What I want to say, I just want to know, stay here, Sean, is that Sean's leg is kind of bent here. So I'm going to ask him to scoot his knee back. Your knee back. Try to make some length. The left. Yes. And untuck the toes. Yes. So I want that left leg to be nice and long. And now he's probably going to feel it more in the front, in the in the quad, and also in the hip flexor. Keep reaching through those left toes, feeling like one long line from left toes all the way to the crown of the head. From here, can you bring the hands up to the knee? Small circles here, and Sean loves to teach this one. You can bring hands to heart center, and then I'm just going to invite you guys to do a twist. So inhale. Try to have elbows in line with the wrists here. Exhale, elbow to the outside of the right knee. Pressing those hands into one another, trying to get that thumb to reach, to be centered with the heart. Breathing here. Now, Sean, see if you can find that long line in the left leg. And the hips. Yes. Challenging him here, being a little nitpicky, but that's to show you guys how you can better your practice, how you can better your position. Finding length in the body, right? Good. One more breath here. And then inhale, come back to center. Reach those arms high. Sink the hips nice and low. Don't lose your balance like me. Have no balance these days. And then exhale, bring the hands down, frame that front foot, and just step that foot back. You can do little hip rocks from side to side here. Feels good? Good. And then come back to center. Inhale, left leg high and long. Exhale, just step that left foot forward. And rocking back and forth. And then we're going to come to a low lunge. Going to have Sean find that length in his back leg. Straighten out those toes so the toes are behind the heel. Yes, beautiful. And bring your hands up. You can find little circles here. Bring your hands to heart center. And then take a nice big inhale, exhaling, twist. Good. Let's nitpick Sean a little bit. So Sean's a very, very good yogi. The little thing, if you didn't know, our second or third date or something, Sean took me to a yoga class. So he actually introduced me to yoga and Muay Thai. Really lengthen through that right foot, Shawnee. Nice long leg. Yes. Look at that adjustment. Really beautiful length. I know he's breathing here. The breathing starts to get a little bit short. Let that be your lesson to maybe back off a little bit. Check in with your breath. Make sure the breath is long and smooth and almost looks effortless, right? One more full breath here, and then bring it back to center. Reach those arms high, sink low in the hips. Exhale, hands come down. Step that left foot back. And let's go ahead, come up into a downward facing dog, please. Good, and just notice here, notice the downward facing dog is starting to get easier. Starting to get a little bit better. We're starting to find a little bit more space as we continue to move. Tara says, my hamstrings, I totally understand. That's what we're here for. Good. Breathe in here, Sean. And then we're gonna go ahead and open those legs nice and wide, stepping those feet wider than the mat again. Yeah, coming back as much as you need. You can start out long if it feels like a wide-legged downward facing dog. This often feels good in the chest. And then we'll walk the hands back. We're gonna come to a nice deep bend in the right leg here. See if you can keep that right foot down. Left is fine. We're on the left side here. And then, like we did before, I want you to try to walk this left hand out to the side, like we were in Malasana before, and we're going to try to reach that right hand up. Okay, if the foot lifts. And then bring it back down. Not here for a long time, just here for a good time. And then we're going to bend the opposite side. Try to keep those feet pointing forward for this if you can. Oh. So notice how different Sean's sides are. So on his left side, his heel needs to come like all the way up. On the right side, it didn't come up at all. Yeah, so he's gonna widen his stance. He's gonna see if he can adjust to make it a little bit easier on himself.
Not easy.
And then we're gonna just open up that left arm to the sky. And then inhale, bring it down. Nice wide legs, come back to center. Take a breath here, and then let it hang down the center. Nod out the head. We're gonna come halfway up. Left feet are gonna turn forward. So your toes are gonna turn forward. Turning out to the left. And then we're gonna have a nice deep bend in the left knee. Go ahead and walk that left hand to the inside of the left foot. And we're just gonna inhale, right arm high here. So now the knee is facing out towards the left as opposed to forward as we just had it. Okay? So we're opening up in the hips here. I want you to ground down through that right foot. You can't see it here, but Sean is working that right foot. Nice strong foundation in the legs. We're just trying to get adjusted here. See if you can find some space. If you need to hop that right foot forward, get a little bit more space, do so. Smooth out the breath. Good. On your next exhale, roll that right hand down. We're gonna pivot on the right toes, so the right toes are also gonna face, the left. And we're gonna straighten the left knee. Inhale, nice flat back here. Both legs are straight. Exhale, fold forward. And then just rock back and forth. Come up on the right toes, come up on the left heel, just rocking back and forth. Find some stillness when you need it.
Yeah, Liz can bend all the way over with that straight leg, and I cannot. So I have my hands on my shin right here. And this is a pretty deep stretch for my hamstring already.
Each inhale is kind of making the space. So imagine you could send that inhale to the hamstring. On every exhale, I'm going to just try to loosen up the body and take that space. Going deeper into the stretch with every breath. Good. Going to add a little challenge here. So we're going to place that left hand out to the left corner, diagonal from the foot, and then you're just going to pop up on the right peeling the right toes off the mat. Okay, starting here, find your balance, find your drishti, one focus, and then we're going to start stacking right hip onto left hip, coming into this half moon pose. Imagining that you had a wall behind you and you were just like leaning on the wall. Try to straighten through that bottom leg. Maybe the arm reaches high, stacking shoulders on top of each other. Hips are stacked. Right foot is active. Breathing here. One more challenge. If you can, you're going to reach that right hand around the back of the body, and you're going to try to grip onto the left hip. Holding here. And then slowly, slowly, slowly start bending that left knee, reaching the right foot all the way down. Arm comes high. Lean back. Deep bend in that front leg. Breathe. Good job, you guys. Inhale, back to warrior two. So just unwind that right leg, nice T shape in the arms, and we'll straighten that front leg. Inhale here. We're gonna pivot, 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 left fingertips over left toes. Exhaling, coming down to the shin, and then peeking up at right fingertips. So a little thing about what I mean about stacking the hips is that Sean isn't pressing his hips back, he's pressing them forward. So he's almost imagining if two boards or two panes of glass were coming to squish him, right? He wants to be nice and even. So he's pressing his tailbone underneath. He's reaching high with the hand, and he's pressing both feet actively into the ground. Exhale, we're gonna go ahead and clear this bad boy out. You're gonna roll right hand and left hand down to frame the left foot. Step the left foot back, plank, and then lower halfway down, knees, chest, chin. If you need it, inhale, upward facing dog. Heart is forward, shoulders are back, toes reach back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe here. I'm gonna check the comments. My body is turning into snap, crackle, and pop. From Waterbury, Connecticut. Awesome, Brian. Or maybe not awesome, but awesome for me. It means things are loosening up. Slowing down is sometimes so much harder, like some of the yin yoga. Absolutely, Doug. I have actually a training in yin yoga, and it was hard for that very reason, to sit and be in a position for so many breaths. Yeah, you guys can take a little break. If you need a child's pose, take a child's pose. You want to drink some water. We're super lax. Usually, if we were training in person, I wouldn't be this kind. All right, Andrew, in his sweat on. But yes, the stillness can often be the hardest part when it's so easy to be in motion, right? That keeps the mind occupied. But when we have to be forced to be still and we have to be in charge of our mind and where our mind is thinking and where it's going, that is often where the practice comes in, right? That is where we have to challenge ourselves. Doesn't doing these types of yoga during your 8 months pregnancy affect your pregnancy? I wouldn't say so. I feel like I need to move my body. I think it's a misconception that women aren't supposed to move, that like I don't know what people think pregnant women are supposed to do, but if I were to just completely not do any of the things I love, then I wouldn't be happy. So movement is is an important part of my life. My doctors say that it's okay, and as long as I'm not feeling any pain, I'm very good at honoring what feels good for me, and I go with that.
Yeah, and also Liz is very in touch with her body through yoga and Muay Thai training, and so that allows her to be a bit more intelligent with the type of training she's doing, getting up to practice.
But yes, I'm just more. I've been doing these practices for a very long time, so I'm much more in touch with what my body needs. Like I said at the beginning, 8 months is starting to get hard. All that I can do is is yoga. Kind of actually, this is one of my practices that I do on the regular. Sure. Can you share some tips of doing yoga and pregnancy? Yeah. Don't overdo it. Listen to your body. I know there's a lot of times where I was battling with ego, right? There's a lot of things that I can't do that I could do 8 months ago. And that's frustrating, right? And I don't think this is just pregnancy. I think this is all around just a good tip is notice when ego is in play, right? There's a lot of times where I could be in a class and I could be like, oh, I can do that better, or I'm stronger, whatever is going through my mind. But I try to notice it and then I try to drop back into my intention, right? What am I here for? I'm here to feel good, right? I'm not here to beat myself up. I'm not here to, be angry with myself. I'm not here to compete. I'm here to just feel good. So I drop back into that. I let the ego kind of dissipate. And there's no reason, if you notice these thoughts, there's no reason to beat yourself up when those thoughts come up, okay? It's just the thought. We don't have to label it. We don't have to attach to it. We can just say, that's a thought. And then it passes. Then we let it go. We come back to the breath and we focus back in on what we're doing. Hello. Okay. So let's go to the other side, you guys. Make your way to a downward facing dog, please. And we're going to go ahead and widen that dog. So legs come out past the mat. Nice wide legged stance here. Find your breath. We kind of know we're more prepared for this side. So this side will be easier because you know what to expect. So I want you to drop into your body right now. I want you to be breathing. And I want you to trust that you know what to do. You know what's coming. Good. We're going to go ahead and pivot on the right toes this time. Reaching the right toes out towards the right. Nice deep bend in the right knee. And then walk the hands over. Right hand inside of right foot. And then open up left arm to the side. You can peek at the left arm. A few tips here. Sean is active through his pinky toe on this left foot, all the way up his torso. He's coming up a little bit because that feels more spacious to him. And that's what I mean by this. If there's more space, if you feel like you're cramped in certain things, find a way to make more space. Can Sean do a 180-degree split?
Hell no.
Make me look bad, Sean. Just keep him here for a little bit. Bend that knee deeper. Yes, there we go. Breathing here. Really opening up, passing through those feet. Take one more full breath here. And then go ahead and roll that hand down. We're going to pivot on the left toes. Face both of the feet forward. Pivot and step that left foot a little bit closer. And then inhale. Exhale, fold over straight legs. Little pyramid pose here. So notice how Sean's spine is very curved here. I'm going to ask him to do is reach with his chin down towards those toes. Now you see that we have a longer spine. He's probably feeling it a little bit more too, huh?
Just smile. Right?
Smile through the discomfort. Again, working that breath, inhaling to come up a little bit, make that space. Exhale to fold, reach that chin down towards the toes. And I believe we had a little movement here, so you can go ahead and come up on the toes of the left foot, come up on the heel of the right foot. Getting ready for our balancing pose here. You're gonna walk that right hand out toward the right corner of your mat. Right forward and start peeling up on left toes, reaching left foot towards the sky. Let's activate left foot. So you're flexing left foot, nice and strong here. And then I'm gonna start to rotate the left hip on top of the right hip. So I'm kind of pressing the hips forward here as if I was leaning on the back wall. And then the left arm is gonna reach high. And maybe the gaze comes up. Nice. And I'm just gonna pick on Sean a little bit here. So Sean, really straighten through this leg, power through. Okay, normally I would have a block for him. Use your water bottle. Come up a little bit. And then I'm gonna have him power through this back leg, yes. And I'm gonna actually reach him up so that he can come lean back a little bit. Yes. So we're creating space here. If it feels good, you have the balance, you're gonna bend this top arm, reaching the grip around for the opposite hip crease. Hold it here, power through that top leg, hold it here. Nice. And slowly as you can, you're gonna start to reach that left foot back, coming into a warrior two, with the arm reached behind the back. And go ahead, flip this front palm and just lean back. Sending the breath to this, what is that, your right side? Right lung, fill that right lung up. Sit deeper in the front leg. Sean is getting tortured over here.
I'm a sadist, I love it.
Keep breathing, you guys. Be happy I'm not with you in person. One more full breath here. And then extend the arms out, warrior two. Hit it a little bit lower. And then straighten that front leg. Good job, you guys. Sean is gonna take a nice big inhale. Gonna pivot hands, be nice and taut in the body. And then exhale, he's gonna reach the hand down towards the shin. So Trikonasana. The reason this pose is called Trikonasana is because there's 3 triangles here. We have one in the legs. We have one here, so do not collapse in your right rib cage. Sean is so strong in his body here, in his torso, so he's not collapsing. He's reaching up through the left hand, and we have another triangle going right there. Okay, Trikonasana. One more full breath here. Really good job, you guys. And then exhale, go ahead and bend that front leg. Reach the arms down, clear it out. Go through your flow. Okay, Ruthie says, in the squat position, should your back be straight or neutral? Also, should your feet point straight or turn slightly to the side? Great question. Okay, Sean. John's gonna come into a squat position. So he actually has his toes splayed out. I believe that gives your hips a little bit more range of motion. It's more natural to the body. So his toes are splayed out. They're about shoulder distance apart.
They're a little bit, I would say they're a little bit wider.
A little bit wider than his hips. This is going to help him get his hips down. Okay, so I'm going to sit. So I'm assuming by neutral, maybe you mean like here. I would say that you want to go for as straight as you can.
Sometimes my heels come up. My ankle mobility is not the best.
Good. So we can all find our way into a malasana pose. Is going to guide you there anyways. So we can all come back to this position and we'll talk about it. So again, your feet are a little bit wider than the hips, toes splay out and come to sit low. My hips, sometimes if you need your feet a little bit wider, you can do so. And then I like to try to sit as straight as I can. If you see Sean and I here, and just have a little bit more flexibility.
Just a little.
So I try to sit as straight as I can. And from here, we're going to add on to the shoulder. So left arm is going to reach out and to the side, and the right arm is going to reach high. And I want to challenge you here because we've been doing this arm variation the whole time. You're going to flip the left palm behind you, trying to wrap that knee up, and then reach the right hand around, going for the grip. Okay? If you have the grip here, straighten through the arms, and then peek up through the right shoulder. If it doesn't feel good, stick with Sean.
My hips are enough.
One breath here.
Yelling at me.
Come back to center, and we'll go the right side. Right hand reaches out and to the side, so my elbow is inside of the right knee. Left arm reaches high. Maybe this is enough. Maybe you've already turned it off. Maybe it's all been enough. And then you're going to flip the right palm, and we're going to go ahead and go for that bind on the right side. If the hands grip, go ahead and straighten through the arms, peek above that left shoulder, breathing here. Smooth out the breath, you guys. You're doing so good. Inhale back to center. Take a full breath here. Sit nice and tall. Little extra, straighten out the arms. This is a big one. This is a big one. Holding here for 3, 2, and 1. Hands come down. Bring the knees down. Go ahead. Take a seat on the heels. How are we feeling? Go ahead and drop a comment. Let me know how you're feeling.
Post an emoji with how you're feeling right now.
What was your emoji?
I would be.
Maybe the drunk one?
Yeah.
Really. Right, you guys are doing a really great job. My hips just got fried. Alex, this feels amazing. My body is so grateful. I am so grateful. I'm so grateful you're doing this for your body. Good job, you guys. Oh, you're so welcome, Alex. My legs feel so much better. Awesome. Stick around. We've just got a few more poses to finish up. I know it's been an hour. I tend to go a little over, but we're finishing up. I just want to give you guys some, light back bends. Light back bends. The easy ones, the easy back bends, I promise. And then we'll come to some light twists and just finish up together either in a seated breathing or we'll do a little shavasana. We'll see how we feel. Okay, so come to sit on your heels. We're going to come into camel. So we're going to come up on the knees here. Your knees can be as wide as your hips. And you're going to tuck the tailbone underneath you. So I want you to have a nice tight booty.
I'm tucking my toes to make it easier for me to reach back. I'm reaching back here. If my feet are flat, then it's going to be even more of a deep back bend. I ain't ready. I ain't ready.
So we're doing this 3 times, okay? So 3 times, you're gonna stick with me. So, most important, because I want you to protect your lower back. You have a nice tight core, yeah? So I should be able to punch that core nice and tight. I want you to think about squeezing a block in between your legs. So your legs are active, your glute is active, and your lower belly is nice and taut, okay? I have nothing, nothing in my belly region is taut these days. From here, we're gonna go just one side first. So you're gonna reach back with the left hand, reach back for that heel, and then inhale, square up the shoulders forward, reach that right hand over the head. Take a nice full breath here. Exhale, start pressing the hips forward. Just see if you can reach that right arm back. If it feels good, you can let the head drop back. Breathing here. Try to stay active in the lower body. Hips press forward. Keep the glutes nice and active. Protect that lower back. Go ahead, bring that right hand to heart center, and then come up. Both hands to heart center. Take a nice breath here. Exhale, right hand reaches back for the heel. Press hips forward, press hips forward. Start inhaling left arm high and reach the left arm back. Maybe the head relaxes back. See what feels good. Breathing. Left hand comes to heart center. Right hand comes to heart center. Come up. Good. Nice full breath here. Good. This time, I can give you options. Depends how you feel. You can bring both hands back to the heels. You can reach both hands overhead. You can just see what feels good for your body, okay? So you can start with the hands on the lower back here, pressing the hips forward. Reach those elbows back towards one another. Inhale, start leaning back. Exhale, you can reach the right heel down, right hand down, left hand down. Get adjusted, and then really press those hips forward. Reach that head down. Let the head be so heavy. Keep protecting lower back. Breathing here. If you need a little bit more, you can walk the hands towards the knees. More breaths here. Good. Come out of this. You're gonna bring the hands to heart center, tighten up to the core, and then sit lower and lower down. Hips back to heels. You can take a little child's pose here. Knees are wide. You can let those arms be by the sides. So the arms are by your knees. And just relax. Might feel good to lay on one cheek. Just let your body be so relaxed here, so held. So heavy. Nice job. And as heavy as you can, keep the eyes closed. Keep everything connected. I want you to just start rolling yourself up, vertebrae by vertebrae, being as heavy as possible. You're gonna roll the ankles out to one side and just start coming to lay down on your back. But keep this like heavy, melting feeling of just being so held heavy as you roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. Laying flat on your mat. Take a nice breath here. Go ahead and hug the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little hug. Doing what feels good. See what the body needs here. Maybe do little circles with the hands on the knees. Another option, you can lay on your fists. You can make fists and just lay on the fists under your seat bones. It gives your seat bones a nice little massage. Go ahead and place both feet down on the mat. And then the left ankle is going to come on top of right knee. And we're just going to hug the knees into the chest here. So Sean's reaching in between the legs and around to grab the thigh, or he's actually grabbing the shin now. And from here, Sean's going to release his arms to the sides of his body. The foot can come down, and he's just going to let the knees fall to the right. So his knee is going to come on top of this foot here. And that's just going to give you a little extra stretch. If you want a little bit more self-adjustment, Sean's going to place his hand on top of the knee, and you can just add a little bit more weight there. If you want a little bit extra, let the gaze be towards the left fingertips. Nice and twisty. And again, guys, these are similar flows to what I do in my yoga for Muay Thai course. I really had you guys in mind when I was creating this course. I wanted it to be challenging, but also restorative. And I hope in my next course, it will be more challenging. That's my hope for you guys.
Challenging enough.
And then inhale back to center. And go ahead and switch the leg. Nice figure 4 here. And notice Sean has to peel up, but then he reaches and releases his head back down. Sean, you can tuck the chin a little bit. Yes. Now he's got a nice long spine on the mat. Big breaths here. Feeling so much better in the body. Notice that tension has just melted away. Melted away. Now we're going to go ahead and let ourselves twist. So Sean, open your arms up to a T and let the knees fall to the left side. And whatever adjustment you did on the other side, feel free to explore that on this side. Over the right. And if it doesn't feel good, Sean is good at adjusting. He's also good at giving me shit during yoga class. But I think it's important to say that, like, Sean gets frustrated in yoga as well. So if you're feeling frustrated, just know that it's understandable and know that it's normal. We get a little annoyed when we can't do certain poses, right? We get annoyed when we can't figure things out, but with practice and with the breath and with patience, we will get there. So just know that that feeling is totally normal to come up, and just honor those feelings that come up for you. Okay, it's never have to put the good or the bad label onto any feeling. It's just about noticing. It's like, this is frustrating me. This feels really good. Like, this is supporting me. And it's just a little mental note. So the next time that it happens, we kind of know how to handle it better. We build those tools so that when it happens again, we are better suited to handle it. Hope that makes sense.
Yes, for sure.
And then inhale back to center. Sean's all zened out right now. Back to center, let your spine do its thing really quick, and then we're gonna come into a happy baby. So you're gonna go ahead and hug those knees in, and you're gonna grab the outside of the feet. And just like a happy baby would, you can rock from side to side. want you to think about the knees drawing the knees in towards the armpit. The feet face the sky as if you were standing on the ceiling, and the elbows are inside of the knees. Try to keep that chin tucked on, nice long spine. So go ahead and release the hands on the feet. We're going to straighten the legs out to the sky. And as if you weren't feeling your abs enough this week, we're going to lower down for 5, 4, 3. Look at this guy. He's making it harder for you. 2. And here, I want you to hold. So I want you to squeeze up the face. I want you to make fists with the hands. Make foot fists. Squeeze up the body. Squeeze everything nice and tight, tight, tight. Hold it here. I know I'm silly. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And then 1, relax all the way down. Let's just do a full body scan. Full relaxation here. I invite you to close your eyes and just try to follow my voice. Relaxing. Chin is tucked slightly towards the chest. Long spine. Relaxing in the eyebrows. I know you've been scowling at me. Relaxing in your jaw, right? What is the tongue doing? Is the tongue on the roof of the mouth? If so, can you release the tongue down? Shoulders are heavy and away from the ears. Fingertips soft, just supported by the earth. The hips are heavy and melt. Imagining you are in sand, right? That feeling of sand surrounding and holding your body. Let the hips melt. Quads are heavy. Shins relax. Feet splayed out to the side. Full body relaxation here. Give yourself 5 breaths. Breath here. Wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe reaching hands overhead. And hey, if you're not ready to come out of this, you can stay there. I know Shavasana is my favorite, and that's the quickest Shavasana ever, but for the sake of the live, go ahead and come over to your right side, little fetal position here. I'm going to ask Sean to keep his eyes closed, keep his gaze within all that work that you did, right? Let's close it out, right? And slowly making your way to a seated position. Hands to heart center, eyes closed. Give yourself a bow. Thank yourself for this week, for completing this challenge, for making it all the way to the yoga. Your body is so freaking thankful for you. So just give that thanks right back to your body. Just be so proud. Let yourself sit in that pride. I am so grateful for all of you to show up today, and I'm so proud of all of you as well. Namaste.
All right, peeps. How was that?
Sean's awake.
I'm the Muay Thai guy again. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that. It feels good to stretch. Saying hi, can't stay, but want to say thanks for your huge effort to helping us getting better. Have a killer weekend. You as well. We're excited about this weekend. Just got here. Is the video going to be available on replay? Yes, as long as you're signed up for the challenge, you will have full lifetime access as long as the world's still around to all of these challenge workouts, including this yoga flow. So if you guys have any questions related to yoga or Muay Thai right now, we'll stick around for another 5 or 10 minutes. Andrew, thank you both for this whole week. It's such a great ending to the work week.
You're so welcome.
Like I said, Andrew, great to have you back here, man. I hope this helps build good momentum into next week. I know this is helping me build good momentum coming up for the rest of the month. And I'm just really grateful that you guys all joined us for these workouts. And it just really makes things that much more fun to do when you're dealing with other people, even if you're online and not in person. So I appreciate that. Will there be up in Muay Thai holidays still? Oh, yeah. So I think I know what you mean. Yes, Muay Thai vacations are still going down. June, July, August in Costa Rica this year, where our friends are hosting them. Jake and Bryn, who we trained with in Thailand for about 2 years, both legit, not more, both awesome people. They are the main host there. Starting to fill up, so go to MuayThaiVacations.com and find out more info. You can book a call with Liz. Book a call, show up. Too many people booking calls and not showing up, pissing me off.
Wait till this baby comes out. I'm gonna beat you all.
We're going down.
Muay Thai mommy.
Fierce Fagans.
Latina's gonna come out.
I thought Muay Thai was hard. This is hard. Yes, indeed. Sean Fagan, how close is the ankle to knee in double pigeon? Not close.
Yeah.
This is where.
That's great.
Other side.
Listen, this is a pose you can do watching Netflix. And I'm going to tell Sean to bring his leg out.
Yeah. This is how high. My other side is a little bit better. I'm constantly doing that. You want to know because I can't completely do it yet, but I do it, believe it or not.
That is part of your routine.
Question about the challenge. When will the raffle for those sick-ass gloves take place? Sometime early in the week. Probably, I don't fucking know, man. It's going to be a surprise. I will let you all know. But probably, I'll either do it Monday or Thursday, probably. Thursday is the last day for the promotion for Heavy Bag Blueprint 2.0. We get some free gloves. And so I want to kind of finish this off with a bang and everything. So let's say Thursday. Thursday, we'll be doing raffle for 2 Knockmore Nation boxing gloves. Sway is making a little cameo. Boy. We call her Sway. It's like Americanized, but it's actually Sway. She's beautiful. She's so beautiful. I just want you to know. Oh, right on the lips. Alex, started on day 3. I like the workout so much. I bought the Heavy Bag Blueprint. I'm excited to follow it and see how much I improve. Awesome, man. I'm excited to hear what you think about the course, to see your progress in the coming months. Let me know how those gloves feel on the Heavy Bag as well. Really appreciate your support, man. It really means a lot. So thank you, Alex. Glad you joined the challenge, even if you started a little late. And this will hopefully build momentum going into your Heavy Bag Blueprint program. So thanks for that. Reminder, Heavy Bag Blueprint, 25% off, free gloves, and a bunch of other cool bonuses. 30 workouts. It's a 24-week program. And so you're good for a while. Some people say that it's a little expensive. Think about it this way. A private lesson with me is about the cost of the course. And so you'll pretty much have me in your pocket. You have a pocket Sean Muay Thai guy Fagan in your pocket, teaching you Muay Thai more or less. And so if you think about it that way, and also if you take private lessons or at a gym and everything, Ricky Bushel, he's a big fan and supporter. I appreciate his comments. He left a really thoughtful comment about like you spend $100 at a gym doing a private lesson for an hour, you'll get a little bit here and there. Obviously, like private lessons are great, but this program has so much information in it, so much structure and intention behind how I created it that you're going to be improving. And you pay once, and then you have the program for the rest of your life. And yeah, it's a game changer. I wish I had this when I first started. Everything I create is because I wish I had it when I first started. The Fighter's Body Program, which is all at-home bodyweight workouts specific to Muay Thai. So you're learning how to shadow box, you're learning technique, and then the heavy bag blueprint. Like I wish I had these things because when I was on the heavy bag at the gym, I just feel lost, especially when I was in the beginning phases. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to move. I didn't know how to actually improve on the heavy bag. So it became really frustrating. So I created these workouts essentially for me, and then I ended up sharing it with the world. So just let that be known that I made this just so this way you have a program to follow in the happy bag. But thank you. What else we got? If you buy the 3-month payment, 1 month each for 75, do you still get the free gloves? Yes. There's no refund once the gloves are sent out. By the way, so that let that be known. If the gloves do, for whatever reason, end up like ripping or tearing, if you have a warranty on those, I'll send you a free pair of gloves. But yeah, if you do the payment plan, which this way kind of makes it even more accessible, it's $77 for 3 months. Thank you. $75 for 3 months. Don't mark my words. Go ahead to bagblueprint.com and all that info is there, but you get free gloves even with the payment plan. Good question. Any tips on doing handstand? Typically, we would give you tips on it. This is pregnant right now, so I don't want her doing a handstand.
Yeah, I can give you tips though. Like, I think the biggest tip is like you want your body to be fully straight. Like, so if you're standing, you want your body to be fully active and fully straight. Your hands will be in the shape of a handstand, and if you work that motion, then you're gonna start to build the muscle memory of being fully active. But I could say it's very hard when you want to learn the right way. I know that I've banana backed because that helps me find balance. But the right way is having active shoulders, active arms, active core, active legs. Like you're like panini pressing them together. And so, yeah, activate every single muscle in your body.
You can also use the wall to get started, just so you have a little bit of a safety net, so you can get a feel for what the technique is.
Well, my thing about the wall is that it builds a false sense. I would say to practice and fall. Like my tip is to get used to and comfortable with falling safely, because so much of inverting and being upside down is about handling that fear. Like there's so much fear around falling and getting hurt that can actually stop you from getting up into the handstand. So if you first face that fear and you know what to do when you fall, then that fear is eliminated. Then it kind of frees up more space to get into your handstand.
Cool. Any last questions? Alex, any more tips on quieting thoughts, being more mindful and connecting more with your breath? I find it hard to separate myself from my thoughts and my body. It's a constant work in progress, my man. And one of the best things that I've been able to usually implement into my daily routine is just a meditation practice, whether it's 5 minutes or 15 minutes or 20. I try to do it every day. Ironically enough, I didn't not do it today because it's Saturday and I just slept in and then I didn't do my perfect morning routine, right? But generally speaking, just the consistent meditation has really allowed me to be more mindful of my thoughts, mindful of my actions, how I respond and react to certain things. And it allows me to be a little bit more objective with my thoughts as well and know which ones are actually like me, or is it like the self-doubt or the anxiety or anything like that.
Yeah, you want to tap into your observer self. So instead of, you know, a lot of times we're so hard on ourselves and we're like, oh, we're thinking we're supposed to be doing that. But when you're in your observer mind, you can just say, oh, I'm thinking, that's a thought. And then you let it pass like the clouds in the sky would go, right? You don't hold on to that cloud. You don't say, oh, I'm going to follow that cloud around. You just let it pass. So if you can start to just notice how you're showing up for those thoughts. Are you beating yourself up? Are you judging yourself? Are you labeling it? And how can we just begin to be like, oh, I'm thinking and I'm letting it pass. Maybe you tap back into the breath at that moment and start saying, I am inhaling. Right? A big practice that helps me is when I can't get my mind to focus, I could literally just count out loud, right? Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you notice when you're speaking out loud, your mind isn't anywhere else besides in that present moment, right? Your mind is only thinking about the words that you're saying. So maybe that helps you to start saying counting the breath out loud. Maybe you don't need to, maybe it gets easier where you can count in your head. And maybe we'll get to a point where you find that you become the observer of your thoughts, where you're like, oh, I am thinking. It's a practice. It is a practice.
Great question. Any last questions? Do I have to stretch every morning?
Yes.
Really, you don't have to do anything. You could do whatever you want, but I typically stretch.
If you want to feel good, Curly, you got to stretch, man.
Especially, I believe you were saying you're like 50. If I'm mistaken, please correct me. But yeah, especially as I get older, I'm realizing the importance of stretching. I'm trying to make sure I routinely do that every single day, every single morning, and it really makes a big impact. Asha, it's really interesting to see how the number of viewers here decreased every day from Monday, and now it's almost private in here. That's the way challenges work. That's the way life works. Yeah, it's just it's exciting in the beginning, and it takes persistence and commitment to be able to actually follow through with it.
So, I don't take it personal anymore.
Yeah, and if you've made it all the way here, that just testament to your commitment and dedication to yourself, and I appreciate it. But I think that's all we got. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for doing the six-day challenge now. And yeah, keep an eye out for the Heavy Bag Blueprint promotion that ends Thursday. If you've been really enjoying the workouts that we've been providing you, we'll definitely love the Heavy Bag Blueprint. We get really good reviews for that. Over like 90, I think we're at 95-star reviews now. And yeah, it's legit. I spent a lot of time and energy into it, so I made sure that was good. But also check out, if you like Mrs. Yoga for Muay Thai at the Knock Muay Nation shop.
Subscribe on my YouTube. I'm getting back into it. Right now I'll be talking heads, but as soon as this baby boy comes out, we're gonna get back into those yoga tutorials. So make sure you subscribe. And yeah.
All right, guys, enjoy the rest of the weekend. We're gonna be watching some UFC fights tonight. Woo! My picks are Volkanovski, Mayev, and Peter Yan. Those are my 3 picks. Maybe I'll do a parlay bet tonight to make it more interesting. But for the record, I've never won money betting on fights, and so I've only lost money.
Just the ones that you didn't bet.
Yeah, just the ones I don't bet. I'm like, oh, I should bet on this one. But you know what? I've been losing money, and then sure enough. Anyway, yes. Deb, who won the big prize? I'll do that on Thursday. I've decided. And so we will do that on Thursday. Hope to see you guys there, but enjoy the rest of your weekend. There's no live tomorrow. We need a break. And we'll get started with lives Monday through Thursday related to the heavy bag. And this way it's just
Shavasana.
Yeah. But we'll be doing more workouts and training tips and that kind of stuff during the week. So make sure